This is Pavement Black.
Hi, and welcome to Pavement Black, the official podcast of the National Asphalt Pavement Association. My name is Richard Willis, and I'm here with Katara today. Sai, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Katara, president and co-founder of HeadLight, a company founded back in 2005. One of the first partnerships we had actually was with the National Asphalt Pavement Association as sort of their online training provider. Since then, we've evolved and we're providing different kinds of innovation and technology, mainly focused on the transportation industry.
Fantastic. Well, today's segment is my journey with asphalt, or my journey to asphalt, because we have a lot of people in the industry that come from diverse backgrounds. They're doing different things, whether it's construction, whether it's technology related. And we're trying to capture a few of those stories. And today, I'd just like to start off by asking you, what really drove you to the position you are today? Was there a passion for transportation or computers?
It's been an interesting journey from the beginning. So I ended up, after college, graduated and went to work for a technology startup in Silicon Valley. And one of my close friends in school was at the University of Washington, George White, the ultimate co-founder with me of HeadLight. He was doing research at the University of Washington under Dr. Joe Mahoney and Dr. Steve Mensch, both who are longtime associates and have been involved with NAPA for many, many years. And he's like, hey man, you got to come up, meet these guys. It's incredible to see the impact of transportation and the impacts it has on everybody's lives. He's like, but they're building this $100 million road literally with charcoal pencils. He's like, bring the technology interest and experience. Let me introduce you to the team, and the opportunity to apply change and innovation through the lens of technology to an industry as impactful as transportation is a great way to make an impact. And so that's how things got started. And my first eye-opening experience was, I started to look at the world differently. You start to realize that transportation is all around us, but it's something that we naturally take for granted. And I started to think about it, and that was the light bulb moment for me that I've never looked back. Transportation has been my home ever since.
Fantastic. So what was your background, or what did you study in school? Was it computing or?
Yeah, I got a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering from University of Washington. So had a software and a hardware background, was applying that for startups down in Silicon Valley, but then saw transportation and saw how much of a late adopter it was for innovation, which actually drove me even further because number one, there was huge opportunity there. The scope of it, if you can move the needle just a little bit, it's amazing the impact you can make in an industry like transportation.
So that kind of tells you how you got to where you are today. What drives you now every day? What keeps you excited about coming back to work and being involved in the transportation and road construction industry?
It's impact. It's the impact that you can make and the results when you actually focus on practical challenges that we can actually use innovation to solve. And ultimately, what gets us out of bed every day, it's a passion for transportation, but we're really not having discussions about technology. We're not really having discussions about process change. What we're really focused on doing is impacting people. And when you can take innovation and make it impact the people that are part of this industry, it is incredible to see the kind of results that you can get.
No, it's been interesting some of the partnerships that we've had on so many different levels, and whether it's the training of individuals that y'all have helped with, or even helping people simplify their pavement design processes and make it more available and more practical for everyone to implement. We really appreciate the partnership we've had with your company. So I guess the next question, or the final question, is really a little bit more forward-looking, and seeing what you're doing right now in the industry and working with people. What's kind of your vision for the future? If Sai could predict off in his perfect world and be king for the next 5 years, what would that look like, and what kind of changes do you think would have the biggest impact for the roadway construction industry?
Yeah, so back to that people focus again, one of the biggest challenges that we've seen in the industry across the board for agencies and for contractors has been finding ways to recruit and attract new talent. And it gets harder and harder over time in 2019 and 2020 to have new folks come in, hand them a pen and paper and give them a high five and say, get out in the field and get to work. So one of the core things that we want to see happen is the antiquated way we've done stuff isn't going to be the thing that's going to take us into the future. So the biggest component is, how do we actually amplify the skill sets of the people that are in the industry today And number two, how do we provide collaboration tools so people that have the experience can then share that information and those capabilities with people that don't. So one example, if we have a way to take some of the administrative burden and overhead off of the people that have the talent and the knowledge, it frees them up to do higher value roles and jobs. And so that component is where technology can really help. It's a supplement to create a force multiplier and almost like a megaphone for the skill sets that people have, so that what they're focused on is going to be the high value work versus doing the stuff that computers and automated machinery and automated artificial intelligence can also supply. So that's kind of the context. One example of that would be in the future. Let's say you have a new inspector or a new foreman out on the field, and there's data that's being collected about work that's going on today. One of the challenges is if you have a lot of data coming in, actually having a human parse that information gets more and more challenging as that pile of information grows. So one of the things that we've actually started doing research on and the industry is starting to adopt is artificial intelligence and machine learning to take that large span of information that comes in and make sense of it for what people can use to make decisions. That's going to be a tremendous multiplier, I think, moving out into the future as well.
No, it's interesting because you're exactly right. One of the biggest challenges we're facing right now in the industry is workforce development and getting people in, because their image of the industry is that person with the flagger. I think making it more technologically driven opens people's eyes and makes it a lot more attractive. And so it can not only make our operations more efficient, but ultimately it can open the doors to solving some of these workforce issues that we have.
It's incredible when you think about the impact. Like, there's a new bridge, for example, that went up in Minnesota, St. Croix Bridge. It actually connects Minnesota and Wisconsin. One of the things I remember talking to the project engineer, some of our innovation was on that bridge, but he was retiring, and it was his final project. And his home was on the other bank in Wisconsin of the bridge that he helped build. And the impact that he saw, he's like, this is something that we built. It's a physical thing that's going to impact millions of people, and my grandkids are going to be able to see that when I'm gone. There's a legacy here that this industry is building that you don't have the opportunity to do in very many other industries. And that's something that we have to remember. But that also means that with the importance of our jobs and our roles in this industry, we have to raise the bar.
Absolutely.
Because we have such an impact. And innovation is one way today that we can actually leverage to do that.
I couldn't agree more with that. Is there any other thoughts or any other things you would like to say kind of as we wrap up?
I think one of the things I want to say also to Napa is just a big thank you. Literally the first partnership when we started the company 15 years ago, and it's one that we've been very lucky and blessed to be a part of over the last 15 years, and really looking forward to continuing that partnership to raise the bar for the industry into the future.
I can't wait to keep working with you again.
Appreciate it.
So thank you very much, Cy, and thank you for everyone for listening to the podcast today. Again, this is Richard Willis for Pavement Black, and we'll see you on a future podcast.
Pavement Black is produced by Monica Dutcher of the National Asphalt Pavement Association, with podcast theme music credits to Coleak. You can find Pavement Black on most of your favorite platforms, including SoundCloud and iTunes, or at www.asphaltpavement.org/podcast. If you would like to suggest someone for us to interview, please email Richard Willis at rwillis@asphaltpavement.org. That's RWILLIS@asphaltpavement.org. Until next time, keep paving it black.